Okay, so when we talk about sports vision evaluation and sports vision training, those concepts are built on two key things, two key concepts that I want you to think about that we work on with sports vision training. The first concept is a simple equation. Input plus processing equals output. What that means is your eyes and your brain are taking in a ton of sensory information. All the sensory input coming into the eyes and the brain, from your eyes, your ears, your nose, what the temperature is outside, everything, all that sensory input coming in. Of all that input, about 80% of it is from your visual system. So, especially for athletes, you've got all this rapidly changing, you've got a ton of rapidly changing information coming into the eyes and the brain constantly. You guys have to take in a ton of information fast and be able to process it fast. It's kind of like, your eyes are taking like a real-time video feed that's constantly changing. So all that input's coming into the eyes and the brain. Now, when that input gets to the brain, the parts of the brain that process your vision, all that data has to be decoded and analyzed and processed to where now all that information is processed. Now the brain can send its signals to different parts of the brain to direct and tell the body how to respond, how to move, how to react. And that is your output. So all the input coming in has to be processed accurately and quickly, which is going to drive your output, your response. So as you can imagine, if you're not able to take in that input properly, so if the input coming in is inaccurate, or if the brain is unable to process that information fast enough or accurately enough, either one of those things, if you've got bad information coming in or bad processing going on, is going to affect the output. So if you don't have the right info coming in, you're not going to get the right response going out. So that's our first key concept. Input plus processing equals output. And with sports vision training, we work on all three of those phases to make sure they're maximized for you. The second key concept with sports vision training that I want you to keep in mind is, we talked about all these visual skills that we measure and evaluate, right? So when you look at high-level athletes, elite-level athletes, and you look at their visual skills are just better, faster, stronger, more accurate than average athletes. It's been proven over and over again. We see it all the time in our practice as well. There's a direct correlation there, and it's not the only reason that these athletes are able to get where they are, certainly, but it's part of the equation, and so by training and working on and improving all your visual skills and elevating those to a higher level, we want to elevate. It's going to translate into elevating your overall performance. So obviously, the improvement we get is going to vary athlete to athlete depending on where your baseline skill level is. Some folks are going to improve more than others, some not as much, just depending on where you're starting from. So that's what our baseline evaluation tells us, is where to start and where to go from there. So, like I said, the two key concepts to understanding sports vision training: one is the input and the processing equals the output, and also higher level athletes have better visual skills, and that's where our ultimate goal is. To give you that extra competitive edge, over your competition, make you a little bit better, maximize your potential. Take your visual skills and raise them up even higher to help you in your performance.